Barbarian. It's a horror movie kind of till it switches to Justin Long's
Until it's a comedy.
Action!
Yeah.
So this is a better late than never. I'm going to do this
Welcome
in my hand
back.
until he finally puts words in there.
Welcome back to Coming to Summer presents Better Late Than... Bean and Superbad present Coming
You're
to
such a
Summer.
dick. It's like
present
better late
than
than never.
never.
So
Like I say it before you... Better late than never.
this one
Catch up with
we
me,
didn't get
huh?
we didn't get a chance to see, and now
Last
we're
year,
making up ground.
A 2022 horror film.
It's
right?
still last calendar year. I still think it's been in the last 365 because I was reading an article
Yes.
about the last year of horror movies.
I think
and it's still counted in the last year.
I don't know when it came out. People technically count Smile as a 2022 movie,
I
but
thought
that
it was
came out
January.
in January or February. I thought
it
this
did.
year,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, I'm
losing
pretty sure.
my mind.
Yeah,
Everything's a blur
we
since
got the
COVID.
Smile curse. We have
Yeah.
no idea what's real or not. Yeah.
So
Barbarian.
But we're going into Halloween. It's September. We're
Yes.
we're gonna just unload on all these we haven't
last
seen.
week we did Smile. This week, it won't always be horror movies.
No, but we have like the Saw we have to go through.
We got
A
Saw.
lot
You
of Saw
got to catch up
movies.
on the Conjuring movies for
True.
None.
We got None coming
I
up.
Can we do Conjuring rankings? Their movies are actually pretty
we
good.
can.
If None is actually
None
in
will
that
be a
universe,
good Better Late Than Never because None 2's coming out.
That's what I mean.
So we need to go watch that anyway.
and then we
So
can loop that in.
It's
with
horror movie city.
Conjuring rankings. Yes, the
So let's get into this.
Conjuring Cinematic Universe, the CCU.
Gross.
That's not what we're talking
That's
about.
the
We're talking
fatigue
about
people have, by the way. It's
the
cinematic
universes.
universe
Cinematic
fatigue.
universes. It has nothing to do with superheroes.
God.
It's cinematic universe. Not everything has to build into everything.
No.
Which is kind of what I appreciate about this movie, because it just there's not going to be a sequel.
No.
It's not going to be like
Yeah.
Barbarian 2.
This-
who cares? I'm still trying to decipher why it's called Barbarian.
Yeah, I did because the street's Barbary.
The street's Barbary, and it's Airbnb.
Barbarian.
Barbary
so I know there's a
Airbnb.
few-
It's a Barbary Airbnb.
Oh.
Barbarian. The Barbary Airbnb. That's literally, they're
it's-
like, guys, gold.
Got the name.
Got the name.
I know a lot of people watch the first couple minutes just to get an idea. I didn't really like it. Before
No,
we get
me
deep
and you
into
were
this,
pretty lukewarm on it. That
So
being
let's
said,
get
first
into
30
this.
minutes before it
a
hard
good short film.
pans,
It's a good
I
short
love it.
film.
I loved it. I was in. I was
The
sold.
dialogue was
It
good.
was mad creepy.
They creep you out on,
Yep.
on if the dude's
Yep.
gonna kill the girl, or maybe the girl's
Maybe
gonna
the
become
girl's gonna kill
unhinged,
him.
and like who knows?
Who knows?
And then they're flirty, and maybe are they gonna hook up? And then all of a sudden she hears something at night, and you're like, okay.
There's shit in the basement. Yeah, they go to discover it.
And
and then shit goes down. And then it hard cuts to Justin Long
in a car and convertible,
doing an impression of Robert Downey Jr. a la
doing an impression of Tony Stark.
doing an impression of Tony Stark a la Iron Man 2. When he's driving on, he stops to get the strawberries for Pepper, and then he's driving back and he's got the schematics.
It's about the same
in
road
the back,
that
and
they
it's at the
always
same
film.
car.
Yeah.
He's like on a car phone talking. Hey, what's the deal with? He's literally doing like the Pepper. We got a situation.
Yeah, I
It
have
was
a
rough.
lot of
Yeah.
issues
So the
with
movie
this
hard
movie.
pans
It's a hard
halfway
cut
in.
to the owner of the actual house. So you get the opening 30 of a psychological thriller.
Of two people who accidentally double booked the same house using two separate realtor Airbnb-like apps
Mm-hmm.
in a neighborhood that is completely desecrate.
Except for this
There's
one house,
there's no house.
which is
Why would you stay there?
creepy as shit.
Why would you stay there?
And it's one of the horror
Why would you
tropey
do
things.
that?
Everybody's like, "Hey, girl, don't stay there. Go get a hotel. You can stay with me. You can stay in my
That's what
car
I mean.
in the parking
You're
lot."
staying in this creepy neighborhood for a creepy house, and you have this internship interview.
Which she clearly gets because she's like, "I'm so excited."
So she drives into town. And it's like this big corporate building, and she meets with head.
This is after we get the 20 minutes of are one of these people going to kill the other people?
Yeah,
go to
them
bed.
sorting the double booking. Yeah,
Mhm.
doors are opening in the middle of the night, and
Yeah, so you
Bill
don't know what
Skarsgard's
you're gonna
screaming.
get.
So
Yeah.
nobody knows what's going on. They get to the interview, and the one chick who's the boss lady is like,
She's like, "Where are you staying?"
yeah, and
she's all
like,
smiley.
Oh, it's town. It's in whatever's
Bradbury or something.
Whatever'sburg. Yeah,
And she's like,
you can't stay there.
Don't stay there.
Do not stay there.
She's like, "Well, I know it's run
You
down." She's like, "No.
can't stay there.
You're not listening to me.
Right. You can't stay
Do
there.
not
so
stay
clearly
there.
there's people know
That something's not right."
something's not right. If you go there, you most likely don't
There's
come
a reason
back.
there's no other houses except the one that's actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the setting everything's awesome. Like the environment looks cool. It looks super creepy when she's driving into town. Like at night you can't see it. It's raining.
So she doesn't know.
You don't really pay
so
attention.
She just assumes all the other houses are like fine. But like the one house she pulls up to only has the lights on. No other house. There's no street lights. Like
it's creepy as So
no,
the vibe.
Fuck that.
So you have this big.
How much you think she paid for that on Airbnb?
The Airbnb super cheap. That's why she got it.
Like $10 a night.
Super cheap.
Like $5 a night.
You find out the Skarsgård guy.
Who's she book it from? Is weird
Is
creature
Airbnb
lady in the bottom?
No, that's the thing is whatchamacallit. There's some plot holes later in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's ran by the Justin Long character's
agent,
house management.
Realtor
like
business?
a house company.
Sure.
Like
sure.
Property management. That's what I was looking for.
So they're just renting it out for a little spare change.
For a little spare change
That's right,
for
he's
him.
on the phone.
Because they're like, you do have the properties you make a little money from.
Yeah. So after 30 minutes of this horror movie we're getting, it cuts, and now we need exposition for Justin Long's character.
And we won't give you how it ends, but it ends on like a climactic, somebody dies, someone screams, and then we have a hard cut to the Hollywood road, like the scene in LA that he's like, I just got my pilot. Hey guys, what's up? And then his whole world ends. Oh, this girl's accusing you of raping her, and we're firing you from the pilot.
Essentially, like that, whatever you want to say about that, but that's
basically what he's
down.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's like spiraling out of control. He decides to go to Michigan to sell his properties. He gets there. It's now been weeks. We don't get a concrete thing other than nobody's booked for a couple weeks. So it's been, and she looks like it's been a couple weeks when you finally see the character again from the beginning. So it's definitely been a couple weeks. The movie hard pivots. Once he gets in the house, it's still creepy. He's like, this door's open. What's going on? Is someone in my house? And then all of a sudden he goes downstairs to explore the creepiness. And then he's like, he runs upstairs, and they're like, and the music's getting tense, and he pulls up the Google, and he's like, can I get extra money for having a underground storage for my house?
He's trying to sell like his extra properties, and this one happens to be in Detroit, Michigan. It happens to be the house that got double booked by our characters, Skarsgård and what's her face. So he finds the like underground like catacombs. I don't know what the fuck you would call it.
I guess I used to connect all the houses because even later in the movie you get another hard pivot from 40 years ago in the 80s where it's this one guy who's going around buying murder type things but also locking doors of people in the neighborhood because he's got an underground system that he just goes inside of the houses and comes up and kidnaps the women and goes back under. And then that's pretty much
the women and basically inbreeds with them.
It's like a 10-minute scene. You get no backstory about this guy other than this is what he's doing. Goodbye, get back out of the flashback, and now we're back into the other. So it's like there's a lot of jarring problems. My issue with the movie is that it's shocking to be shocking. Not shocking for payoff, shocking because we got to it. Okay. It reminded me of like Jeepers Creepers, but in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like it got real weird and kind of funny, and he's like down in the basement measuring.
With the tape measure. So fucking funny, dude.
And he's like, what's this creepy cage?
And
then he goes around it and keep measuring.
I want this movie to be like I told you the other night on stream, like it should be a Meryl Streep, Steve Martin, Alec Baldwin movie where two people double book a house and the realtor shows up because he's trying to sell it, but he's getting Me Too'd by his other career,
Right, so he's under the thing.
Yeah,
you can make it a comedy.
Fuck the horror stuff.
Because then it goes
straight comedy.
So hard
make it
comedy.
like hella cheeky, you know what I mean? Or keep the same actors.
Oh, yeah, you could have made it different. I don't know how this movie has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Feel good, heartfelt about them restoring the neighborhood.
I would have taken that over this. 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, 70-something, 72, 73.
On the audience score, which is way lower, which makes sense.
Which makes sense. This movie is hard to review because it bounces around.
To me, it's like they wanted to make a shocking
scenes
movie. But it's like shocking to be shocking, not because it's good. Because, okay, after we go comedic, we go like almost like that Walrus movie, like Tusk. Okay, now all of a sudden this weird creature.
Never seen Tusk, by the way.
I've only seen clips of it, but it's basically the same vibe, the way it's shot. All of a sudden you get this like woman creature who somehow, even though she's inbred, she's super powerful. She's like 9 feet tall.
Like
she has
strong.
Gigantic boobs, and she just wants to breastfeed and bottle feed you.
She's a big mom,
right? But it's like weird, like not even like I guess they were going for creepy, but it just comes off dumb.
Yeah.
And she's like, take Baba. And the lady's like, take the bottle. Just bake the bottle. And it's like, it's not creepy at all.
She'll get mad. And then she gets mad and just throws Justin Long in a room with a TV.
And then she's like trying to make him suck her nipple. And if he just sucks her nipple, she won't kill him. But he's like, no. So it's just gross. It's not even like thrill, like psychological or whatever. So then they eventually break out, and I guess the movie becomes an introspective of his character, and is he really a bad guy or not? And he is he's a piece of shit. And I guess that's the movie. And even though you find out the creature, and spoilers because it's been a year. Wait.
Yes. Yeah. It's been. We can spoil.
You find out that the creature wasn't really a creature. She just wanted to be a
just
mom.
Like an inbred human.
And then the
after
lady,
so many generations,
and the
she just
creature's
got
like
fucked up,
helping the girl at the end, and she still blows her brains out. And then
know.
the movie just cuts off. And then she's walking, and they're showing these clips, and the music, happy music, but they're showing these like closer clips as she's walking down the road, and then credits.
What? Yeah. Fucking what? Give me the movie. You talked about the prequel flashback. Give me that movie.
The psycho killer
Give me
guy
the horror movie
who's going into
basements
house,
and kidnapping.
who's pretending he's the water company, going in and locking
putting them into cages. And if you still want Justin Long and Skarsgård and all them in there,
then you flash forward.
Well, but just set it in that time,
or in the
you
80s.
can cast them in those roles.
It was,
and then that's the better movie. Don't talk about your better movie for 5 minutes. Don't Matrix 4 movie where like, the machine war raged on for centuries after we last left you in these other films, but we're not going to mention them
we're gonna
ever
skip ahead.
or show you any of that cool shit. We're just going to skip to the dialogue mentioning it. And it's like, I don't care about the 5 seconds of dialogue. We get the dude in the basement who like blows his fucking brains out, and it's like, who fucking cares,
and
man?
why did he wait till then to do it?
Because somebody was there, because Justin Long was there.
So?
I don't know.
It did make
no idea.
It made no sense at all.
I have no fucking clue. Yeah, I have no clue.
Oh, he's finally tormented and someone's discovered his secret, so now he's going to kill himself, even though he's like, whatever.
I have no fucking idea. But that sounds like the better movie. If they do a sequel or anything else in this universe, do that prequel. Where a dude's basically like Jim Carrey cable guy, but he breaks into their houses and murders them.
Right.
You know, because he has a system
That's
of basements.
That's a way creepier movie to like having a guy like dragging you
and
down.
He throws them into cages.
Not like
and like inbreeds.
40
Fuck,
minutes
man.
of
rough.
Me Too stuff.
Yeah. No.
And I get that, but not for this kind of movie.
Especially when I was so locked in. If you watch this movie, by the time they do cut to the Justin Long shit, you're locked in. You're fucking like, I'm in this movie. I like where this is going.
Yeah, even with the Justin Long, you're kind of waiting. You're like, okay, where's this going to lead?
Is it going to cut back to the other shit?
It takes like 30 more minutes to get there.
It's 25, 30 minutes
of
the
comedy.
Justin Long comedy being Tony Stark. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, show me the fucking horse shit.
It wasn't long. Like I know we complain a lot about movies being too long on here, but it wasn't long enough for what they were going for. It needed another 40 minutes. If you were doing that, if it's a 2-in-1,
2-hour horror movie.
Yeah, you can't
least,
do a 3-in-1 in 90 minutes.
Yeah, the hard pivot
There's
is
too
rough.
many.
I didn't know about the hard pivot, so when it happened, I'm like, did my Max, did my
am
HBO
I on a different movie?
fuck up? Like, yeah, what
like
the
happy
fuck?
music playing, and now he's driving on the beach, and
the fuck?
We're 2,000 miles away now.
And I had such high expectations for this movie. That's what kind of sucks with the Better Late Than Never is we don't get the opening weekend. We haven't heard much about the movie. It's like people are
we
hyped,
kind of
but we're
zone
like,
out to
fucking
make
shut
sure.
up. Yeah, like, but this, it's like people are like got stark raving reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, 93%.
But normally you see the audience like a movie more than the critics.
I know.
Right? This one having over 20% lower
200
should
reviews.
tell you
200 reviews.
This is
That's
a
lot.
fart sniffing movie.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, it's shocking to be shocking. It pivots to pivot, not because they had to. Like, you didn't have to hard pivot. You could have still done the same plot and had Justin Long's character come over without the extra like, why did they have to act like he was not a bad guy and give you 30 minutes of him like, I didn't do anything, and then slowly kind of telling you he did do something.
If you cut to him, have him cut to him driving on the street and he's on the phone. You get the same scene. Fucking go right to it, man.
He's already there.
And then he's explaining like, well, you shouldn't have left the state. You're under investigation for all this shit with Melissa or whatever the fuck her name is.
Like
he's
a bunch of
I've got to sell my properties.
Backstory we didn't need.
But that's the scene, and it would have been 5 minutes, and you're on the street, and he opens, and we get the tape measure scene. But then it's only like 15 minutes apart.
Right.
Then on your back half, you have more time to do the horror movie that you started it as.
Yeah.
Instead of spending 35 fucking minutes on exposition with Justin Long, like it's the start of a brand new fucking movie.
And so I'm saying, and they're doing this
That's
weird
not
thing
how
where
you
like
make a movie.
He's like, I'm not a bad guy. Then they show him being an asshole. I'm not a bad guy. Show him being an asshole. Not a bad guy. He's getting even worse.
Until the very end of the movie.
And then he's like,
it's like, you're a dick.
And like, and what was the lesson? Like the girl's a good person and she keeps trying to save him, and then and she talks about the whole movie about abusive guys, and then she keeps trying to save this guy, Justin Long, who's an asshole.
I know. I know.
So I'm like, what is the point of
I know.
this?
I don't know.
I'm trying to
it
understand.
makes absolutely no
and
sense.
then at the very end, like without, when it happens about getting thrown off and everything, and he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I just had to throw you off the tower," or whatever. She still acts like it's cool. It's like he just threw you 300 feet off the thing.
I know.
What do you mean?
And he didn't know she wasn't gonna die.
No, I totally had to do that. That was my plan. I knew you were gonna.
I knew that monster was gonna break your fall. No, you fucking didn't.
I just had to do that.
I'd be like, pop, pop. Fucking fuck both of you.
Yeah, then it goes Jeepers Creepers with the eyeball thing.
That's
I'm like,
Justin Long's the real monster of this movie.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Fart.
He's the barbarian. No, but that's what it is. But like, we don't need. Then we don't need the whole setup to be as long as it does. If the whole point is that really the real monster the whole time was you. You know what I mean? Like, it was me. Like,
especially if hey guys, he wasn't in the first 30 minutes of your fucking movie, so that really doesn't work out.
And he's not the monster because, he is a dick, but the other guy that you also have a hard cut and go to the 80s is clearly the monster because he's like monotone. I need plastic sheets and things to clean up blood. For what? A childbirth. Oh, okay. I need shovels and limestone. Oh, that's probably good.
Yeah.
Do you have a midwife? No. Okay. And the lady's like just giving him all the things.
God
no one's
damn
questioning anything. It was just.
It was rough.
I can't.
This movie's rough. What number? We got to give it a number out of 10.
Okay, I'm going to say something really weird. I think overall, what they were trying to do made it like better than, for example, Insidious 5 or whatever this one was.
Fair.
But I think I'm going to give it a lower score because
this
of
had
how
more scares and at least was more
did.
grounded. And
but it was a worse movie.
It had more payoff.
But it still was a worse movie.
It was the worst.
Does that make sense?
I don't think it was worse than Insidious 5.
Insidious 5 at least follows a plot, even though it
was very farty.
Still,
yeah.
This was like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, cool part over here. That was a cool part. Yeah, but the whole part
it's
together.
Like another meme with the three-headed dragon from Godzilla, but one of them's got the dumb face.
I'm gonna give this one.
That's the thumbnail. It's gonna be like the first part of the movie.
I think you need to do that.
And then the second part is like the fucking.
Yeah, mix it up. No, I'm actually mad because of the fact that I honestly think they made this. They tried to subvert expectations, to subvert expectations.
Just to subvert.
So for that, 4.8.
They're like, guys, we're gonna hard pivot.
Just because.
How does that work? How does Justin Long gets the script, Barbarian, right? Okay. Guys,
so
I'm not in the first 30 pages of this fucking script.
When do I come in?
I'm not in the first 30 pages, guys.
You're the main character, though. But I literally am not on screen. I looked at the time sync. 59 minutes left in the movie when we get Justin Long.
In an hour 45 movie. And 45 minutes, hard pan. I was watching that. Guys, was watching that.
Go back.
Yeah. Who changed the fucking channel?
4.8. It's
going
to be the lowest score I've ever
in
given.
editing.
That's
I swear to God. I swear to fucking God, dude.
A different financer came in and said, we'll only back the movie, but you have to make all these changes. And they go, but what about the rest? We don't have time or money
Is this
to
a
film,
Sony
to
movie?
refilm.
They're famous for coming in and re-editing. Do this, even though it makes no sense.
What's your score, though?
What did you give it?
4.8.
4.8?
I'm mad because of the subverting expectations for no reason thing. Let subvert them fine.
That's the lowest you've given something.
Ever.
Wow.
It pissed me off watching this.
Yeah, I'll give it a...
worst horror movie I've seen this year, for sure.
I want to give it a 5 because the beginning was like
but that's why I give it even lower because it really pulls the rug from under you for no reason other than to go, gotcha, yeah? Did you like that?
Yeah, 4.8 is pretty accurate, but I don't want to give the same score as you, so I'll go even lower with a 4.5.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd only recommend saying that score being that low. I still recommend watching it just so you can see why.
Yes, it's a big old. If I was in theaters, it's like an Asteroid City almost. Where it's like
you're waiting.
You're watching the Asteroid City stuff, and then it cuts to the black and white shit, and you're like, but I was watching the other thing.
Yeah.
Give me that thing.
Go back.
Give me the thing I liked. Like, how did this... they do focus groups, and they test movies, right? How did screenings for this... How did they go, that worked?
Well, because this was made...
worked,
This
guys.
was made for critics. This is one of those horror movies that wasn't made for me and you. I mean, the 70%... compared to the 93 should tell you that. So they were like, critics are going to be like,
yeah,
I like the hard cut.
I kind of wish this was like a Boogeyman, where it's just like pure monster.
That's all we needed.
Pure spooks, pure horror,
We could just have Justin Long get there, and then he starts investigating, and now he's trapped, and now the rest of the movie is she's trying to get him out, and he's a piece of shit. We didn't need anything else.
You don't even need a monster. Just them. Just they get lost down there
in the caves.
They have no idea
but
where
you know
to
what,
find
the monster,
anything.
We don't need the dad flashback from the 80s.
We don't need
and
that.
we don't need the beach 20-minute monologue to the airport scene, to the rent-a-car scene.
Then
all
that
of that.
movie still could have been an hour 45. They follow Justin Long. Yeah, everything.
Siri, I'm not making that
driving to his agent's
What do you mean
office.
You're at a rent-a-car?
In the agent's
He
meeting.
goes to his accountant.
Drives home from the fucking meeting.
I'm going to have to
You're
not
gonna
be your
drop
accountant
me
anymore.
Too. Drives to the rent-a-car thing. Rents a car. I'm on the flight. Rents a car. I'm driving to the house. I'm at the house.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I can't open the door. Holy fuck,
If
guys.
this was a television
it's been 30
show,
minutes since we got
this was a
Skarsgård and the other chick.
This
you
should
know
have been
what
a
I mean?
television show.
Yeah.
This is how it was. Like, you get set up. First episode, you get the house.
Yes.
And you get this crazy shit. Second episode, you get Justin Long build up. Third episode, he gets there and he starts investigating.
Yes. You could
Fourth
do a
episode,
5-episode
you could do probably an
miniseries,
8-episode
probably,
season. And it would have been better. What the fuck was this?
You're right. And then you could have had the time you wanted to do all the build-up that
because
you
then
needed.
you care.
Yes.
Because now all of a sudden you care that he's a Hollywood actor who's getting Me Too'd. Otherwise, I have 9 minutes to process this, guys, and now he's already in the cave.
Yeah.
You waited for 45 minutes to get him on screen, and now he's already captured after a 10-minute comedy bit that was completely out of place because the last 30 minutes were horrifying for these two people, and now we're doing jokes with tape measures. And the movie's not billed that way. I love horror comedy. I love Zombieland and Shaun of the Dead, and those, but that's not what the movie was for 45 minutes.
It's thriller. It's suspense. It's fucking who's the killer. It's like who's gonna die. You know, what's the monster? What's the like antagonist? And then it's like, here's the antagonist. Boom, Justin Long shit, and it's like hard cuts.
Yeah. So it really is who is it?
Yeah.
Did D&D write this? Is this a Game of Thrones project?
Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
No, I mean like
Game of Thrones. Guys.
Yeah, those guys.
Yeah,
because that's what this feels like.
Yeah, they forgot what movie they were
Every
writing.
30 minutes we have to hard pivot. Why? Because. Okay.
No, it's because they went back to the script in like within 2 years, and they like forgot what they were writing
There's
about.
One writer though on this.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's really this screams.
That's what I mean.
6 people wrote this, but it didn't. That's
what I mean. He wrote the script and was like, "That's good." And then 2 years went by, and he came back and he's like, and Justin Long's doing a Tony Stark impression, driving down the road. He goes to his accountant.
No, his
rents
buddy.
a car.
It's like me and you.
He's like, "Oh, this is gold."
No, his friend goes, "I bet you can't make that horror movie into a movie with Justin Long and a comedy at the same time." And the guy goes,
and the friend is Justin
hold
Long.
Yeah. That's how that goes. So
you mean
let's
Justin
wrap
Long
this up.
tells him, "I bet you can't make it into a comedy starring me."
You definitely can't add extra
And then
30
he
minutes
goes,
of lines
Justin
for
Long,
me.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, Justin Long has an alias that he writes movies under and sells scripts.
Man, yeah,
So,
Justin Long looking old too.
He
Yeah,
was looking a little rough.
both under 5. Yeah, for
It's not
us,
good.
that's lowest we've combined on a rating for sure.
Didn't even
yeah.
get to 10 combined.
Our producer's calling
He's
us.
telling us to wrap.
It's like, you guys are running. You went way too long. Okay, let's wrap it up. Okay, guys, subscribe, comment, go watch Barbarian.
We
It's on
got
Max. He's
Equalizer 3 review.
He's yelling us. He's yelling at
We
us.
have Zombie Town coming.
We're
got
getting caned off the fucking.
what's the Liam Neeson movie? I keep wanting to say
Liam Neeson's
Resurrection?
Retribution.
Retribution.
Yes, which makes no sense. Oh, he's getting louder
Okay,
now.
we're done.
Fuck.
We're done. Sorry, we're coming, Parker. We're on our way.
He just
I think
keeps
that's why they
like
made it a
it
show.
follows. Here's the Equalizer pattern. If you've never seen Equalizer, here's the pattern. Equalizer walks into a shop. That's his name, John Equalizer. He walks into a shop. There's another person at said shop with problem. He reads book quietly and watches problem from afar, and then
Until he can't take it anymore.
and then handles problem anonymously, and then shows back and goes, "So how's things?" And they're
I
like,
liked it.
"Things are fucking great." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Huh."
I liked
Okay.
the first one. I thought the first one was a really strong
Okay.
movie. The second
Like,
one is
oh
a
my
little
god, yeah, I
on
couldn't
the
even,
nose.
I couldn't get through.
He's like a
two.
professional, you know.